Hello, my name is Anthony, and this is a video demonstration slash tutorial slash waste of your next 15 minutes. What I have done is created a combinator that I've used on a couple songs to add texture to things that show my lack of musicianship. You know, when I just strum a guitar or do something that doesn't sound very polished. I'll have a confession for you that I am not very much of a performance kind of person. I like to create and I like to design things, but as far as actually being a professional musician or being talented, well, you know. Anyway, what we have here is four different octorexes, each having different subject matter. We have drums, a synth bass, some kind of lo-fi guitar sound, and an acoustic guitar sound, and they sound something like, whoops, I left the effect on. You're not supposed to hear that yet. Bypass, there you go. Okay, so yeah, it's all stuff out of the factory sound bank. And that's what they sound like all together. And in giving away a little bit of it, let's just see what this thing does on the different subject matter. Let's first off mute everything else, and this is the effect just by itself. Now we've got some knobs and buttons to tweak, one of which is a overdrive. Another is a reverb, which I think does a lot with it. A shift mod, which kind of does filtering goodness, I guess. And then two level controls for different bands of an equalizer. I'm sure you know where this is going already. Okay, so that's the acoustic guitar. Let's drop this thing off real quick and route in the lo-fi guitar sound. Shut up for a second. And anyway, okay, so as you can tell, the difference between that sound and that one, there's more texture, there's more rhythmic somethings going on there. I should come up with something more intelligent to say here, but yeah. Okay, so that's the guitar, and now the synth bass. I really like the reverb. And again, comparing it to the original signal. And now for the drums, just real quickly. As you can tell, there's a lot of filtering going on. Maybe I should have led with that. That's a more interesting sound, isn't it? Yeah, live and learn. Okay, so that's them. And of course they do sound different too when you run them in parallel. Point in case being like that. Oh, wait. Yeah, you might want to turn on the bus. You can tweak for hours. or you can stop anytime you want to, like right there. Okay, so now, how do you create this gem? Well, let's start from scratch. It's a good place to start from. Yeah. So, utilities. And let's add in a combinator. Right there at the top of the list there, Bob. Okay. Now the meat of this thing is a BV512 digital vocoder. As I said, you probably know where this is going. If you don't, hopefully it'll give you ideas of things that you might be able to do. We'll flip it down to a 4-band joker. And now the fun part, well actually let's do some safety measures first. Add in a compressor, pick your favorite one, and ensure that setting the ratio to infinite and leaving the threshold, you know, somewhat moderate. And then you can force it up if you want to, but that's up to you. This will prevent you from blowing out your speakers and or your ears by, you know, putting it on a limiting mode. Okay, so with that done, pardon me while I belch in your ear. Coke is good. Okay, the two things that we'll add are 2 pulsars. Now this could be done with Matrix 2, but yeah, I like the reliability of the LFOs, so that's what I use. We'll run the CV out of the first one into band number 1, CV out of the second into 2, and then 1A goes to 3, and 1 or 2A will go to number 4. And automatically you start seeing what's happening here. Yes, it is moving the who's it was it? That's right, the who's it was it. Alright, we're going to keep them all on tempo sync to keep order in that kind of stuff. We'll turn on the other 2. And this is the bass frequencies. This is the next low mids, if you will. The high mids and the highs. With me so far? Great. Fantastic. I'll set this on in like 2/4. We'll make this one go faster at 1/8. And let's see. How about a 1/4? And let's slow this one down. How about that? And I tend to like to use the squares. And let's see, down here we will, let's slope down, and over here let's go up. Neat. Fantastic. We'll give some juice to the bass, and take some away from this one, and you know what, that's fine right there. And we'll take this one down just a notch. Okay, so now when we send this thing a signal, these LFOs will be processing the signal. I can prove that by doing this here. And, oops, we're still running parallel. That's what it sounds like without the effect. And with the effect, we've got our automated filters. No big deal. But again, when you take it to a bland source, say this lo-fi guitar sound, you have a rhythmic thing going on. And like I said, you could do this with matrices, matrices even, you know, and just route each one to a band. And of course you could set this on higher bands if you wanted to, and, you know, automate up to 16 of them. That seems a little overkill to me. But, yeah. Okay, so now for the other stuff. We add in a scream. It's in here somewhere. Right there. Why it ended up over here, I'll not know. Let's move it into position, please. Thank you. And in we go. and out we come. Whoa, nastiness. But this is why we have the compressor in place. That ensures that we never go over a certain level. I think I've got this one set on a tape mode. Yeah, it sounds probably like it. So yeah, nice. What else do we need? How about a reverb unit? Let's add in, I think I use Uhbik A. Don't ask me if that's how you pronounce that, I don't know. And now we have reverb. Fantastic. Want to say I used the plate. I like it. And what else do we need? Oh yeah, this little knob or button here. Took me a second to figure out how to do this. I'm going to add in another utility, and I'm sure there's a million ways you can do this. But I'm using this Volt CB rack extension. And I am going to run 2 of these signals. Let's just pick 2 of them, any 2. We'll run number 2 and number 2 together. And we're going to plug it into the shift on the BV512. Alright, do something more magical than that. What did I forget? That'd be it. Yeah, go back to default. Yeah. No good. Alright, I have to cheat. What did I do? Let's see, 2, and I used 1. Okay, you didn't see that. Bye-bye. Let's try that. Right there. Does that give me a little more motion? No, not really. What am I forgetting? Ooh, that goes into the programmer, doesn't it? Into CV1. Ah, maybe that's it. This is not very professional of you. Okay, I have no clue. Anyway, we'll leave it as it is for right now. What else do I need to do to this thing? That's pretty much the whole run of it, actually. The rest of it is in flushing out the buttons and the knobs. So let's do that. I guess we'll start with this trick right here. And you can shut up for right now. Well, you know what? You can hit stop. That'll work. Okay, so let's look at the programmer and let's do some assigning of stuff. The tricky one here was the Volt CB. I didn't want it to always be modulating the shift deal. I only wanted it to do it sometimes, and I guess that was a difference. I had this running into CV1. So let's start with Volt CB, and we will change it to, what did I have? Button 2, I think it was. And it was affecting active, which is basically the enable deal down here. We'll move it to off, and we will set this to on, so that when we press button 1, see if I can get both of them into the same screen here. Alright, when we engage button 1, it'll turn it on, and when we disengage, it will turn it off. Which should, well, once we finish this, okay, so the BV. Where is it at? That would be it. Let's change this to CV1. Let's have it affect the shift, something like so. And now, when we engage button 2, it'll turn it on, and it will start to modulate this here knob. Right, chaw. Good? Great. We all with it? Fantastic. And that was the most tricky of them all. Let's go ahead and assign this to shift mod so that we will know. Right. We'll do the same thing for button 3. That will affect the scream. Button 3 will do the enable. We'll change it to bypass and to on. And now when we press button 3, you'll see as I point at the screen, and you can't see me point at the screen, that the little toggle switch right there is going back and forth. Alright, so that's our overdrive on and off. And let's see, we'll be doing the same thing with the reverb, which is UHA2. It's button 4, enabled, and we'll go to on, or bypass rather, and on. And let's just verify that I got that set correctly. Engaged, disengaged, engaged, disengaged. Happy am I. Alright, so reverb, on, off. Oh, we can't have that. Perfect. Now we can set the rotary 4 to the mix for the reverb. So now this here knob is our dry wet on the reverb. Dry, wet. Fantastic. Alright, going back to the Scream 2, because we should have stayed there a second ago, let's check rotary 3, put it on damage control, and now that will modulate the damage control knob. How much damage do you want? Okay, this one is unused, and that leaves us with rotary 1 and rotary 2. What do we want to do with those jokers? Okay, this one is set to 4 bands, and I felt like with this one being as hyperactive as it is, that would be band number 2, and this one being faster, I thought being able to modulate them against each other was kind of a handy way of going about it. So going to the vocoder, let's pick rotary 1 and rotary 2. We'll set it to the filter band level 1, and actually we'll need 2 more of these, rotary 1 and rotary 2. So this one now affects the bass frequencies. Let's also get it to do the upper mids. That would be band 3. Look at there. Up and down they go. Alright, so rotary 2 will be band level 2. Rotary 2 will also be band level 4. And now that works those. Cool. Up E and down. So that's 1 and 3. And that's 2. Oops. 2 and 4. Fantastic. And now we have an effect combinator. Here's the thing. I don't do this to make you think that this combinator is actually worth making on your own, just to give you an idea of what can be done in case you've forgotten and you've been in refills too much here recently, relying on other people to do your creating for you. Don't do that. You can make your own stuff, and it'll sound absolutely as ridiculous as mine does, but it'll be yours. Okay, so now going back to the acoustic guitar. I don't hear anything. That's because it's muted. But now, yeah, I do think I, might need a little bit more juice here. That's 1 and 3. Pull 2 and 4 all the way out of it, and I can get a certain rhythm going on between those two. I can pull them all the way out and get a different texture with 2 and 4. Which is nice. Turn the reverb on. Methinks it wasn't the plate reverb. Add a little overdrive. Bring in the bass. It's kind of ethereal sounding if you... And it certainly doesn't sound like you're using a loop anymore. It sounds like something maybe you have engineered yourself. Haha. Okay, so... And then you get to have as much fun as you want to have. What happens if we use both? Probably get a mess. Let's see. I like it with the synth bass thing because it really does sound creepy as all get out. Doesn't it sound like some kind of alien something or another going on here? Otherworldly creepiness, bugged out alien guy chasing you down a hall or something? I don't know. Maybe that's too much. Okay, so that's it. All there is to it. Now you too can make weird noises. Have a great day, and we'll see you again sometime.